Okay.
So I think we sent you the discussion guide. I don't know if you had a chance to look through.
I don't know if you did.
Okay.
But I don't want to see it now.
Okay.
It'll confuse me.
It's totally up your alley. Just
Okay.
You will be fine.
That hurt. Now you got to readjust it too. Whoever, you got to fix it. He hurt me. He's bad man. Who is he? He's mad because I said his hat was hipster. So we stepped on the thing. He is bitter, but it's okay. Where do you live? Yeah. See, that's not hipster, so that's cool. That's good. Do you have a baby? Do you have a baby?
I do not have
Okay.
a baby. Close.
All right.
Whereabouts in Prospect Heights?
I was going to move to Prospect Heights with my baby.
Where do you live now?
Hastings on Hudson.
Oh, very
I
nice.
couldn't afford the city anymore. So we
I
left.
hear
People
you.
used to get wealthy and leave,
I
and now
know.
you get poor and leave.
Yeah.
But that's all
I
right.
lived there till I was about 4. Hastings on Hudson.
Yeah. Good restaurants, crunchy lefty people.
I was on Ashley Street.
Yeah, it's so minimal.
Oh, yeah?
That I know.
Right by the highway.
It was the wire.
It's all good.
All right, we're good to go.
All right, cool.
Where do you need to go? Or you're good to go?
I'm good to go.
Wow. Are you all getting paid for being here? Excellent. Well, that makes 3 of you. 4 of you.
You might want to get rid of that. That's distracting. Do not get rid of it. Just
You can't. That can't be gotten rid of.
I won't be
Maybe it could. What does it go to?
just frame it out. That's all I can show.
Oh.
And the track, I really
Frame it out, motherfucker. That's the way you say it in the industry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Frame it out, motherfucker.
Right.
Exactly. See, he knows. You've been in this thing for a while.
The more language we can use in this would be the better.
Motherfucker. I've been watching Breaking Bad on Netflix on my phone.
On your phone.
Yeah, well, I switched to the HTC with the big screen so that I could watch it. Yeah. Baby, I'm off the Apple thing. I'm leaving them.
Yeah?
Yeah. Tim Cook, you are no Steve Jobs.
It's true.
Sorry, I just took 2 minutes off the other one.
Oh, yeah. That's Allie. She's a comedienne.
Yeah?
Yes, she is, and an improvisational artist.
That's awesome. Yes.
Do you have any questions? Do you have any additional questions about what we're
No.
the scope of it?
No, but you just need me to say very short things, is what I'm guessing.
Exactly, and I might interrupt you at times and ask
All right.
you to repeat something if we for some reason we ever get
All right.
a bit long-winded. But
Oh,
So
he's still
this
moving
is-
around. He's not good to go.
I'm all set.
All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is obviously exciting for us for sure.
All set, spelled backwards, is Tesla. Ooh. Pretty much. It is. Somebody's drilling, but don't worry about it. It's just death.
before I get started, I guess maybe we could talk a little bit about what you just right here is fine. Maybe talk a little bit about what you've been working on lately. Just
Me?
a brief introduction about yourself.
Oh, I'm Douglas Rushkoff. I write books about media, technology, and culture. I just wrote a book called Present Shock, which looks at the always-on reality that we're living in and our methods of coping and contending with it. And I make television documentaries usually about marketing and evil, how to fight it.
We've all actually been watching those today, which has been a lot of fun for us. And so happens that the topic of our conversation today is media, so this is the perfect time to talk about this. So I'm going to ask you a more specific question related to your work, and then I'm going to move into some more general questions just about the evolving entertainment landscape. So, how do you see tech changing the way that people consume content, just generally?
How does tech change the way people consume content generally? Well, I mean, there's like 3,000 years of technology changing the way we engage with each other and with content. Lately, digital technology has made content more voluntary, more participatory. So if an audience member is going to surrender his or her autonomy to a storyteller, they're surrendering it voluntarily and consciously instead of just because that's the way it is. So while we used to live in a world where the audience sat and watched, now we live in a world where the audience wants to do something.
And so is that part of the expectation, do you think, from consumers, that they have this expectation to want to participate in their entertainment?
People don't think of themselves as consumers anymore, right? They think of themselves as living many different roles at once. So if they are going to assume the position of the consumer, then they want to do it willfully.
Great. So moving into, I guess, some more broad questions. What do you think, which human behaviors are having the biggest impact on the entertainment industry generally? Is it multitasking, social viewing, and the like?
I guess the behavior that's the human behavior that's influencing content producers the most is our ability to talk to one another. Lateral conversation, peer-to-peer activity changes the nature of the conversation. Right? There used to be one conversation between mission control and the masses, and now individual mass members are having conversations with one another. So the former content producers want to somehow integrate or insinuate themselves into these peer-to-peer conversations. And so
have you seen anyone do that effectively? These social circles which are developing off of that direct communication outside of really the control, I guess?
Well, I mean, ironically, the people who do it the best are the same people who did the other thing the best. The way to get people to talk about what you're doing is to tell a really good story, is to do something really well. So I find that the people whose work seems pre-crafted as social media ready tend to do the worst.
So it really boils down to the effectiveness of the original content for spurring that sort of want for people to share, discuss it, talk about it, and then circulate it around themselves.
Yeah, I mean, a storyteller's marketer can encourage peer-to-peer conversation about that media, but in the end, that media's got to be something. It still has to be Game of Thrones to get people talking about it.
Sure, absolutely. Which technologies do you see driving the biggest changes in the way that people actually consume content? Is it multi-screens, everywhere technology, or connection?
I think asynchronous technologies have had the biggest change. We can watch what we want to watch when we want to watch it. It was the VCR, the DVR, and now Netflix and iTunes. That's really the big disruptor.
Absolutely. And so there's maybe an on-demand nature to a lot of those programs, which is when and where we want to view this. Do you also see there room for the live event, the engagement around those big events which become a live broadcast?
Yeah, I mean, certainly, sports and war should be live because we want to see what's actually happening. It's a lot harder to do that with fictional television unless you've made the fictional television an event in itself. The last episode of Seinfeld, people want to watch at the same time because it's momentous. Otherwise, it's really tricky. I mean, there's much less of a community feeling in watching media today. I'm watching Breaking Bad on my schedule, you're watching House of Cards on your schedule, and we can't even talk about it or we'll be spoilers for one another's experiences. And that makes us very alone on a certain level. So I feel like people are longing for these more communal kinds of media experiences. And you can only get that with a big network hit kind of show.
Excellent. And so with the explosion of new channels like YouTube, Netflix, how are these impacting discovery, distribution, and the like?
Like YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube and Netflix and Amazon, and what impact are these having on content distribution generally and discovery?
Well, I forgot the term for it, but people used to find shows because they were either before or after the show that they were going to watch, right? So people would watch All in the Family on Sunday night on CBS, and then they'd discover the Mary Tyler Moore Show after that, the Bob Newhart Show after that, Carol Burnett Show after that, and it was how you built a block of television. Now people are finding programming less from particular distributors or distribution channels and more through topics and big data predictive analysis of what next program would you want to see.
And you see that as some of those last two features in particular as being the next evolution. Big data is helping us discover new content, and how is this personalization going to affect the way that media becomes discovered or circulated, I suppose?
Well, I think the problem with big data finding your next program is your next program ends up much more predictable and less novel than it might have been in the real world. Right? There isn't that sense of serendipity. You're not going to find something new. You're going to find what you're supposed to find and what everybody else like you found and liked. So it makes you less unique, and it makes the content less unique because now we are creating future content based on past results.
Sure. What do you think, from a personal standpoint, really this is home, anywhere, at a live sporting event, whatever it might be. What do you think the essential components of the entertainment operating system will be? So, like, how will you interact with your entertainment? How do you envision people interacting with their entertainment in the future?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there's going to be two kinds of entertainment. There's entertainment that's the entertainment of doing, which is making programming, and then there's the entertainment of watching, which is receiving programming. And I think we're going to be a little bit less obsessed with the interface between those two things. And I think we're going to be a little bit more comfortable just falling into one or the other.
Great. What do you think the role will be for amateur creators within this evolving entertainment landscape? New channels for creation, new places to promote themselves, share their passions with people, and then actually connect with them. And what will that be that role in the entertainment landscape generally?
I think no matter how many channels for self-expression we have, we will end up with a similar ratio of real professional valued content creators to everybody else. So I don't see that big a shift. I think right now there's a lot of people fooling themselves into believing that their YouTube channel is going to lead to something else. And there's even an industry, YouTube and Google and all, they're fooled into thinking that they're going to build these channels and do this stuff. But in the end, we don't want to waste our time with stuff that doesn't have craft, that doesn't have time, that doesn't have finesse and virtuosity in it. And not everybody's walking around with that.
Yeah. So there is still, it relies a lot on production. There is a value in production, the production that goes into the piece and the actual, let's say,
if we're going to surrender our authority to a storyteller, we want that authority to be a real author.
Yeah. and they have these resources at their disposal to make it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be some big production value. It's not necessarily that we need high quality explosions. We just need high quality storytelling.
What do you think what do you think the entertainment needs to do to adapt to the new entertainment landscape from what we've discussed?
I think the big surprise that's coming is that our economy will not support an entertainment industry like we have today. That this moment will be remembered as the golden age of American media, and 70–80% of it's going to have to go away. It's unsustainable.
Where do you think it will go to?
I think it will disappear.
Entirely?
Yeah, there's just too many channels. There's too much stuff. We do not live in a world that will support Mad Men and Game of Thrones and Hunger Games and zombie shows and reality TV and Jersey Shore and mainstream TV and Michael J. Fox. There's not enough money to do all that.
So it's going to be a fragmented viewership across different channels, where do you think?
We have a fragmented viewership across different channels, but the amount of viewers going to those channels are not enough to sustain those channels. These are business models that are hoping for growth, but won't be able to survive because there's not enough eyeball hours available in America.
Excellent, thank you. What effect will this have on the way that brands and agencies try to market to people in this new landscape?
I mean, we could see advertising return as a powerful method of communication if there's fewer channels. But I think advertising has seen its best days already, and that it will be replaced by different forms of positioning.
Could you say that one more time, just with how advertising will have to adapt to this evolving landscape?
Well, I don't know if I'm saying that. What I'm saying is that the current environment is not friendly to advertising. The future environment, when there's fewer channels, might be more friendly to advertising. But even given that, I think advertising's best days are behind it. And it will be replaced by something much more like positioning.
Okay. Could you go on a little bit more about that? That'd be great. Just in terms of how they would even begin thinking about positioning.
What will marketing look like in the latter 21st century? If a brand or a product wants to insinuate itself into our consumption, then it will do so by riding on another product or riding on another brand experience rather than interrupting a movie with a message about itself. So if I have a new cookie, I might try to get it onto a Coke bottle and pay Coca-Cola for use of their medium rather than paying Game of Thrones for the use of it.
I see. That's great. Considering the mix of channels that we have, and technologies available, what do you think entertainment experiences will look like going forward? Will they become more immersive, for example?
I mean, some entertainment experiences might be more immersive. I feel like there's a point at which people don't want their media experiences to be too hot, to be too immersive. The kids I talk to opt not for 3D versions of movies. They want to see the regular ones. And that's because they want to watch the story. On the other hand, if you're going to go on a ride in an amusement park, then you want it immersive. You'll put on the glasses and feel the jelly foam and get the sense around because it's a 90-second immersive recreation of an experience.
Great. Will people expect maybe to be more interactive with their programming? Do they want some part say in the outcome, and do they want their...
People want to be interactive in a game, and they don't really want to be interactive in a story. And that's because a story is usually about something inevitable. That's the way stories work. Games are not. Games are about infinite possibility. So when you're playing a game, you want to interact. When you're watching a movie, you don't.
We're interested just in trying to think about how entertainment might become more personalized. I know we touched on data in terms of a way to narrow down choices, but that might lead to, it might actually narrow your viewership.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also interested in thinking about how technology might actually react to you if there's biometrics involved or something along those lines, which is could possibly act as some sort of predictive mechanism for delivering, I guess, the best experience for you, something along those lines.
The more that an entertainment experience conforms to the user's state, the less they're getting from it. Right? I don't want, Woody Allen or James Joyce to be responding to my state. I want to respond to theirs. So I think the more that we try to ape and mirror the audience, the less we're doing for them.
And so,
unless you're doing, some kind of porn thing, right? But that's different, right? If you're going to do, a porn experience, Japanese girls' schoolhouse, right? So you go in and you want to smell and touch, and it's going to know, and it'll be doing things to you. That's an entertainment experience, right? But it's an edge. I think anyway, it's an edge experience, not a mainstream one.
Yeah, I mean, do you see there being room for just to casually interact? I mean, not necessarily in real time, but is there an opportunity to interact with programming, let's say, help determine the outcome or anything like that? Do people want that, not in a real time way, but to help influence in some way?
For the past 40 years, people have been talking about the difference between games and stories, and that the Hamlet on the holodeck ideal is not just unreachable, but it doesn't actually make sense. Because the moment that you can influence the outcome of the story, you're no longer in a story, you're in a game. Right? So you can do that, you just can't do Pride and Prejudice that way. It's not about influencing the outcome at that point. It's about having an experience with other people.
Sure. What are the social behaviors which you find most interesting in terms of how people are sharing, why they're sharing, and the like?
I'm most interested in what can compel people to engage face-to-face. What might trigger that? What gets people out of the phone or off the screen and willing to do this? And I think it's because it's so scary for people these days to actually talk to somebody. To me, that's the most fascinating. The fact that people are just clicking on things and watching them isn't that interesting to me.
And so, do you see the more people interacting within like a device ecosystem? So, I'm watching TV, but I'm also using my phone at the same time. But it's more interesting in how that could get me away from that interaction. However, do you see that behavior as something that is becoming more prevalent? And I would be interested actually in how that multi-screen experience would become interesting in your eyes.
I mean, I've been tweeted during episodes of things. Someone will get shot on Boardwalk Empire, and I'll get an SMS, or people are tweeting, "Oh my God, this just happened." And it's interesting from a certain perspective. It's like people used to go to, Beverly Hills 90210 and Melrose Place parties back in the day. There were these, you'd go to a bar and watch one of these shows the same way that you watch a game. So it's interesting. Still, I'd rather just be in the same room with the people watching TV together, than this somehow getting an SMS at night from someone while we're both watching shows alone in our homes makes me more sad than it makes me feel good.
With that said, and I think there's obviously a very true point to that, but do you think there's room for the communities that form based on good storytelling, based on a great program, Breaking Bad, for example, the communities that are forming around it, what becomes, it's largely out of the control. The communities that form outside of Breaking Bad are largely out of the control, obviously, of what's the expectation? I mean, how can you influence or become a part of that conversation which is taking place?
Who?
The people actually creating the content and marketing.
You mean how can Mr. Bad get involved in the Breaking Bad conversation?
Is there any interesting opportunities that you think are in that space?
I think the best thing that content producers can do is not intentionally inhibit the fan conversation and fan creation around their properties, but promote it as much as possible. Pop in occasionally in an encouraging way rather than a discouraging way. And don't pop in as Mr. HBO producer. Pop in as content creator. Have the character come, not the character, but the actor who's playing that character come and engage.
Provide something that's actually, the fans would be knowing the fans and seeing that interaction, learning from their behaviors, and then maybe providing something that might be
engage in a real way, the way you would on what's the zombie show?
Walking Dead.
Yeah, well, after Walking Dead, they do Talking Dead, and someone from the show sometimes comes on and is talking there, but as themselves, and and with Kevin, and it's a real thing. So I think it's to do it that way, not to do it. Don't have, the character from the show have a blog that's interacting with the fans. That's weird.
Absolutely. What do you think? What do you think the storytelling in general, how that has to evolve to keep up with this landscape?
Storytellers in an interactive landscape have to learn two things. One, that their audience is with them voluntarily. So they have to learn to be polite, to respect the person's time and consciousness. Second, they have to understand that if they're not completely controlling the arc of the story through traditional media, that they have to come up with new ways to create reversal and recognition and catharsis. And those new ways haven't really yet been discovered.
Great. Are there any, and this, we're wrapping up here, but are there any interesting technologies which you see as really having a profound impact on how entertainment could become more exciting or more immersive, we touched on personalized, but maybe move away from that, but how it can touch more people, I suppose?
Believe it or not, I think we are on the cusp of rediscovering analog technology and its power. I think that there's a generation of kids who are going to realize that having earbuds listening to MP3s is not music. They're listening to what music sounds like, but they're not hearing music, right? It's not on their body. There's no bass. There's no air moving. And I think that's going to happen in a whole lot of media. So I think we're going to start to see a return to local media, to comedy and improv and theater, to live music, to vinyl, and to technologies that celebrate fidelity on a whole different way.
If you were to put yourself in the shoes of someone who was a provider of, say, like a regular cable network or something like that, what opportunities would you be thinking about, or what would you be thinking about? Maybe start with the challenges that would be on your mind, and then also the opportunities maybe that
I think free TV is almost over. Right? People are willing to pay directly for the content they consume. So I would be looking at ways to reach my customers as directly as possible. I'd want to free myself of bizarre deals with cable franchises and satellite things, and figure out a way that someone just gives me $10 a month and I give them Game of Thrones and Boardwalk Empire and everything else, and get all that other crap out of the way. That's the biggie. It's the ability to sell direct, a la carte media to people is what they want. And if they don't get it, we're going to see another Napster. We're going to see another insane, illegal drain.
Sure. So freeing that up, creating a channel for people to get that entertainment that they want, HBO on demand or something like that.
Right.
When they want it, that's going to be the something that's people are hoping for. That's their expectation. That's what they want.
Right now, the media space is unionized, right? So we all pay for everything. I'm paying for my European soccer, even though all I want to watch is the Mets. And they're subsidizing each other. If we do live in a free market society, then that's going to hit entertainment eventually.
Right. And so, will the benefit be for those who, or the advantage for those who can actually find a way to create that channel that's producing the quality content? So it's like HBO has Game of Thrones, so they're able to capture the attention of that many of those of their fans due to the quality of what they're putting out. I'm also wondering if there's other channels which will pop up around that as well for to deliver that a la carte entertainment.
We're going to see what happens. There's YouTube on one end of the spectrum, Netflix kind of in the middle, and then HBO all the way on the other side. And they're all competing to be able to be the one who delivers us that, who aggregates and delivers in a way that we're willing to pay for it. We'll see.
Excellent. Do you have any final thoughts, generally?
Then my final thought is cherish the media landscape we have right now, because its bounty is based on speculation that won't be able to continue for that much longer.
Great. Thank you. Do you guys have anything you want to say again?
Walking Dead, man.
Walking Dead, that's it.
Walking Dead. Image Comics and indie comic. It's all good. Release. Don't forget the release.
Oh, the release.
You don't have a release.
I can send you one.
All right. Don't do those later.